Good day, devil hunters. It's been longer than expected. Anyone ever tell you that moving is the worst thing ever? I wouldn't recommend it if you can help it. I won't make excuses either though. The video's out when it's out, I guess. I'd like to make consistent, affectionate diatribes for you to endure, but that's for the future. And the future is now. The future rules, as the devil will tell you, speaking in slight echoes. It's great they left us at the time in this state of dread, wondering what kind of inhuman demon would approach from the shadows, only for future devil to be this excitable, stompy goofball. I will say I always envisioned his Mirai Psycho to be a lot louder and frantic. He looks like he's jumping around at a sports event in the manga, whereas in motion he's a lot less spastic and kind of just muttering to himself at a certain point about how fucking cool the future is. I don't know how it would be possible, but I wondered if they could make his voice sound almost like it's verbalizing noise before the words are apparent, like he's speaking from later in time, preferably without becoming incomprehensible. I'm not a sound designer. Now look what you've done. You've gone and disappointed the guy. For a devil, he's really just playing around, and you don't even have the courtesy to scream alongside him. Whatever, just plow your face into that chussy and have your fortune told so you can get this shitty contract over with. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, daddy likes. Yes, you have a totally fucked up future. So it goes. Your death will be immaculately miserable, and I just have to see it for myself. Limited time offer, exclusive 24-hour sale. Future devil lives in your right eye, and you have his help. No matter, retina-bound future devil, hopefully you like what we see. Meanwhile, several days have passed, presumably, and Sensei is still beating these two senseless. It turns out they've gotten quite good at being beaten. So good, they don't require daily beatings anymore to maintain their training regimen. Don't be too titillated. The beatings will persist, just not as often. Also, something about paying attention to the tools at your disposal and not getting hysterical, that helps with staying alive. Put this into practice. Right about noon tomorrow, we'll be commencing the operation to strike back at Swordman and Snake Girl. What, nobody told you? Yeah, nobody told you. Oh, and better not fuck up, because word around the office is that this is Division 4's last shot at fame. We don't catch Swordward, and you guys will be getting an even beatier beating to death. Sensei, in turn, is speechless at Denji's response. He unflinchingly says if it comes down to it, he'll let Sensei live in that fight. And more importantly, this will absolutely impress Makima. My priorities are as reasonable as ever. Then, later in the night, Sensei decides he has to have a little more drink with his drink. Those little bastards, who do they think they are? They were supposed to be punching bags and that's it. And here I am practicing nothing that I preach, getting all worried that they're gonna run off and die just like everyone else. Makima, public safety isn't dense. We're talking about a gang of hooligans here. You knew this would happen, didn't you? It doesn't matter if Sensei's hunting dogs are killed if, and only if, your plans are in humanity's best interests. To which Division 4's newly assigned direct commander replies that her only hope is to save people from devils, and more people can be saved if Division 4 is officially recognized. Katana Man, lost in anxious anticipation, is advised by some other loser that their location is unsafe. Sawatari remarks that nowhere is safe, seeing as Makima can turn them into pancakes. They should just fight back when they're raided. Some other guy rudely tells her to shut up even though she's right. Katana Man makes the final call. They will stay because Granddaddy was no pussy. And also he's hung up on expositing about killing Denji. The rest of you amateurs can get out if you want to be a wimpy baby. Just don't get bitten by the zombies we're storing in the basement as a not-so-secret weapon. Gotta say, I thought that deal with the zombie devil turned out like absolute shit, but I guess one can always turn mistakes into miracles. On the ride back from Devil Jail, Kurose brags about how the pair are gonna go dick around being tourists, while Aki gets himself killed. Kurose has an interesting habit of speaking his unfiltered mind, and asks Aki why on God's flat earth does he think he can kill the gun devil when his team just got teabagged by a small gang of nobodies. Hell, Kurose and Tendo are working in public safety because they hate the gun devil as much as the next victim of his butchery, but even they know how stupid an idea it is to try toppling it. Your foolishness makes Kurose so upset he's downright peeved by the look of your face. Kurose, you fundamentally don't get his mindset. If he dies, he dies. It's not about reason. It's about knowing no other option. But Kurose can't blame him. Here's a Coca-Cola, champ. You won't win, but we're on your side anyway. Great detail seeing Kurose quickly give a simper while getting back into the car. Given some respect back, Aki bows, dismissing his initial plan of just walking away. Makima's here at the big Yakuza house where Sawatari presumably originated originates. Get out the expensive cheese. Hey, don't look at me, lady. It wasn't my bright idea to go attacking the government. But hey, tell you what, lock up everyone involved with Gun Devil bargaining if you want. I hear you treat prisoners with lots of dignity. By the way, apparently it's as easy as handing the Gun Devil a couple hundred smackaroonies to get yourself a hot AR-15. What the fuck could the Gun Devil want money for? What's he buy, boar brushes? How do you even give him money without getting shot? Wait, did you say you want the names of people in other families too? You must be out of your waffle ironing mind. Selling out separate families would mean some real Tojo and Omi shit. Here, let me start lecturing you, who would know nothing about the term necessary evil, about what would happen if Japan lost the defense of the Yakuza. Triads waltz in and make the country an opium farm. See, we're the same, you and I. You stupid idiots protect the country from supernatural demons with unfathomable power, and we protect the country from dirty gaijin. But what would a dumb fucking brain dead, oh, what's that, your sack lunch? Maybe get the fuck out of my office. Holy fucking dear lord, no shot, you just handed me a baggie of our wives and children's disembodied eyeballs. Hey, don't even worry about it, Yakuza man. You do as I fucking say, and maybe I introduce you to Steve down the hall, contracted with the eyeball devil. They're great at popping those bad boys back in. Hold on, I gotta melt this guy's brain with a stare real quick. Where was I? Oh yeah. When you say necessary evil, you mean a convenient excuse to commit crime, and lest I forget to mention, you're a stain on our society. A real necessary evil is always a controlled burn leashed by the state. Oh no, please, Mommy Makima, don't take my eyeballs, I would hate that. Alright, raid time, boys, lock up those doors. Did I mention I'm gonna kill Denji? Because I'm gonna. Would you look at that, Kobeni didn't quit and wants to go home. We aren't supposed to know that yet. I can't understand why they would add this. Adding to her suffering for laughs, I guess. Whatever. What's the plan, boss man? Plan? I don't know the definition of the word. Everybody go in and fight. The police, by the way, are here not to help with the assault. They are here to help keep the new special division inside the building fighting. Because if they ran off into town, Shit Creek would overflow into the streets. Because Division 4 is now almost entirely made up of devils. That means it's time for the best character in all of Chainsaw Man. Give it up for Shark Fiend. I guess I'm not supposed to say his codename. Fuck you if you don't love Shark. Shark, 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 shark. He can swim through solids and turn his head into a shark. Alright, now for whoever else is on this team. Meet your friendly and well-mannered neighborhood violence fiend. He can kill you really hard. So hard, in fact, they make him wear a poison dispensing mask to suppress his power, like Shadow the Hedgehog's rings do. He's an anomaly among fiends, not only because he's a real sweetheart, but also because being a fiend hasn't done shit to reduce his abilities, like it normally should. Spider Devil, not a fiend importantly, but still takes on a semi-human appearance, until you notice the big fucking spider legs. A true Jorogumo, she seems unassuming and mild-tempered, but look at her the wrong way and she'll tear you to shreds. I don't mind in her introduction the anime showing how she moves nimbly about. It's all cool, but there's a real sense of instantaneous, effortless movement in the manga as her legs appear without transition frames, and she's already ripped up some enemies. I do think the dramatic lighting on her face and color adds to her perilous elegance wonderfully. Actually, this is all hype as fuck. It feels like meeting some notorious lineup of characters in One Piece, and I love all of them. Most surprisingly human looking of all, in the new final member, is the irreconcilable and depressive contradiction Angel Devil. Again, a rather agreeable being for a devil. Matter of fact, he basically doesn't give a shit about killing people at all. He kinda just doesn't want to be here. Don't hug him though, touching reduces your life bar permanently. As Angel approaches a more sword-swingy Aki, he asks for a handkerchief to wipe his shoes or nose, I don't know. Aki, right to trust that Angel won't grab his face as soon as he's within range, gets shielded by Angel's bulletproof wingies. Alright main characters, spread out and search for your fighting counterparts. Here, a bunch of Aki fighting in the hallways that never happened in the manga happens, before most of them pass out from brain hemorrhaging. One can assume this means Makima is helping in her own special way, but this is more subtly shown to us in the source, which isn't a big deal, but it does kind of annoy me that they chose here to force feed that to you with extra scenes leading into another anime-only bit of Makima walking from some remote location looking pleased with herself. Back on track, Aki meets an awaiting Sawatari who wastes no time in spitting in his face by having Snake Devil vomit out the captured Ghost Devil. Sawatari's nose bleeds, but she doesn't faint, the only canonical indication that Makima is present. Virtually all of the action sequences this episode have been extended to be more flashy and fleshed out, making them all unique interpretations of the character's on-screen movements and skills. For instance, Aki slicing Ghost attempts at slapping him across the face in half. Future Devil, shown masterfully melding his own eye into Aki's, allows Aki to see just slightly ahead of time, granting some damn good reflexes. Outside of that, however, Aki, you're still just a human with squishy bones and worldly stamina. Oh my god, what's gonna happen now? It's a cliffhanger, but not for you, because I'm gonna talk about it right after an outro review intermission. The song is named Violence on account of all the violence, and features in the video Violence Fiend a little more prominently as a reference to also the violence. The song is performed by the group Queen Bee, sung and composed by lead vocalist Avu-chan. For a song all about violence, it doesn't sound very aggressive, it's actually quite poppy or disco-esque. A little soulful, very easy to listen to despite the word violence being so heavily repeated throughout. The video is completely black and white and shows some kinda stiff 3D recreations of our lead cast doing stuff like DDR dances, or jumping off a roof looking like Motoko Kusanagi in the standalone complex opening, all within a strange land of floaty blocks and exploding skyscrapers. This one definitely has a lot to compete with in its predecessors, I'll say that much. Where were we? Oh no, what's gonna happen? It's happening right now, finally. Ghost Devil's like, you got any games on your phone? You know, it's rude to take a nap in the middle of somebody asking you a question. Before Aki's brain stops functioning, he thinks back on the first time he was successfully peer pressured to try his first cigarette by Himeno. Himeno, being somebody who's careful with her behavior around minors, generally speaking, realizes Aki isn't old enough and says she'll hold on to this one for when he's ready, an empathy actuating perspective highlighting this memory. One could safely assume that based on how devil-human fusion through contract tends to operate, that Himeno still exists inside Ghost and holds some level of influence over her, whether this be a shift in Ghost's personality or a more literal interaction between the two internally. Whatever the mechanism behind it, Ghost held on to that very same cigarette, or really it could have been any, but it's more poetic this way, and decides to ease up and offer it to Aki. Easy revenge, right in front of you. A parting gift from an ever-worrying Himeno, who knows very well that nothing can possibly change Aki's mind, not even Aki when he's reasoning with himself. So, might as well make this victory a quick one. One less revenge quest for Aki to fixate on. One reminder from her to find peace wherever possible, and accept a win when it is in his face, because otherwise your story of revenge will be one of ceaseless misery. When the devil can only see through fear, all you must do is take it easy. I reiterate, we were not supposed to know for a fact that Kobeni hadn't quit yet, because when she stealth takedown Sawatari, it's a pleasant surprise to see her back in action, only for her reasoning to be driven entirely by a mildly reinforced financial safety net. Going up a floor, Power and Denji are having a casual lift in the elevator, adjusting ties and playing with disembodied fingies, and then eating them. I swear, Fujimoto wanted Power to be a cat girl, but thought the sexy, calculating image associated with them wasn't accurate enough, making Power an impulsive, violent, frantic poopy butt who will put anything resembling flesh into her mouth. Entrusting her back to Denji, she reacts to seeing more zombies in exactly the way you should anticipate by now if you've watched any of this. She is proud, she is beautiful, and she is proving my point without hesitation. What is with the bad guys in this raid waiting in the exact places each of their respective fights ends up? What if he skipped this floor, huh? Then what? You look like a real asshole just standing in front of an elevator that never opens. Well, conveniently we're here. How about instead of fighting, you just let us kill you for you heartlessly murdering my faultless and completely human at the time grandfather? Trying to appeal to Denji's human heart, this is his half-assed argument steeped in a tiring revenge story that one could compare to Aki's, that's a theme here, but it's just a lot dumber. I'm sorry nobody feels bad about your grandfather, okay? I'll just say it. He was a big bag of smegma, alright? I'm with Denji on this one. Katana Man speaks right to his inner narration. He has a way of doing that. Asking of Denji to question his humanity, if he's really okay with killing a zombie. Now, maybe it's just because I'm a demon from hell, but they're already dead people, man. Why should I lose sleep over putting them down? Whatever. I grow tired of your insufferable arc. We jump out of this building and fight now. I don't really know what the fuck to say here. I gotta be honest, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself for no real reason to figure out what I'm supposed to say about a fight, but I'm not some shonen anime guy that goes on and on about fight dynamics and power scaling or whatever the fuck stupid terms I see floating around. Chainsaw Man isn't about that either, but what it is about is making a bunch of cinematic perspectives come to life in a still image and now a full-blown animation. It's all over the place. This is no doubt the most in-depth anime fight of the season, and a great way to end this, reminding us all that this is a Shonen Jump manga, even in its constant subversion. The martial arts stays. But yeah, really cool fight, tons of detail and fluidity in the movement, effortless, forceful, and brutal strikes. They even stop mid-fight to pointlessly anime banter about goals. I think that's to emphasize a little the ridiculousness that Katana Man provides by being such a thoughtless trope himself, and presenting that like it matters to a guy like Denji, who is both an enjoyer of manga himself, but more importantly, somebody who isn't all that good at paying attention or giving much of a shit about somebody's opinion, particularly when they're attacking him while asking, what are you even fighting for? Bitch, what do you mean? You're trying to kill me. I'm not about the being killed part. The startup again on top of the train looks phenomenal, by the way, but I think Katana Man plays his role well, maybe too well, because despite this being, as I said, the most spectacular fight insofar as quality is concerned, especially when elongated as a season finale, I was never too impressed by Katana Man. I damn near forgot parts of this arc before rereading. There are several reasons for this that I can't really get into, you'll understand I'm sure, but presently he really is pointless in his ambitions. Just get the fuck out of here, man. I'll definitely remember it more now though, cause it's cool. We even see Denji fall for his same weaknesses, the ones he leaves out when thinking about whether he's retained his humanity or not, when he protects a lady at the cost of his arm, seemingly the cost of the whole fight. That is until even Denji notices just how brain dead of a Katana Man he really is, goading him to attack a predictable target only to parrot Sensei's advice to never trust a hunter when you are a stupid animal. He's learned to redirect the chainsaw to his foot and, in Katana Man's hubris, he has a full conversation before realizing he's been cut clean in half. How? After gluing him back together, Katana Man awakes tethered by Denji's chains. Denji, again showing some of Aki's humanity alongside his usual infatuation with the female form, comments that this guy killed Himeno, and he's not emotionally satisfied with the way this fight has ended. A completely vulnerable Katana Man, short-sightedly as always, responds that there's nothing Denji can do about it. Hey Aki, good to see you're safe. Wanna smash this guy's nuts and see who can make him scream the loudest before he's detained? You know, like how I fought you back when we met. Aki thinks. We were meant to catch this criminal, not torture him for revenge. Himeno wouldn't have wanted us to seek revenge anyway, but I guess she'd be happy to know we're satisfied. Rest easy, Himeno. Our requiem will disperse even the most intrepid of crows. Look, she even yawns like a cat. You ever just stick your hand in an unsuspecting cat's mouth when they brazenly yawn like they own the place? Reports show that Sawatari was previously a private sector devil hunter and arranged the Yakuza attack in the deal with the gun devil for retrieving Denji's heart. Her reasons for doing so were unfortunately lost upon her taking a predetermined cyanide capsule of sorts. The good news though is that as a result of this culmination of events, Japan's gun devil chunk reserve has become a compass, but where that compass leads is only for those invested enough to watch this more whenever season 2 comes out. There's some post credits, but outro review. The long-awaited song by Eve entitled Fight Song caps off the season with feverish power, inviting you into its positive energy after an arduous battle, finally a celebratory reprieve between storms, fully envisioned by some of the most fun, simplistic, literally just in the anime itself scene retellings, wherein the main participants exhibit a slice of life, walking around the neighborhood, going to the grocery store, and eating dinner. These moments are more than welcomed in the Chainsaw Man manga, and I'd be perfectly happy to see an entire episode of these guys just chilling, not in turmoil. They're finally just unabashedly getting along and having a nice fucking day, something long overdue. Easily one of my top outros just for that, but the song's very easy to listen to, and adroitly captures your excitement for it. Like many of the outros before it, Fight Song has its own music video too, entirely separate from this in-universe AMV, and it's got some flabbergasting color and art direction. You can even see Denji and Makima watching a movie together for like one frame, so you know it's the same song, damn it. Amazing. The episode ends with, I think, like a full minute of Aki walking to the porch after dinner and langorously smoking the cigarette, reminding him to chill out for a change, paced this way deliberately to match the sentiment. Inside, Denji recurrently dreams of the spooky door we are acquainted with, speaking to it with childlike wonder before a blaring warning ring engulfs his senses, and Pochita states from beyond the threshold, "Don't open the door." Finally, we are asked by a foreteller of things to come, which does Genji prefer, the country mouse or the city mouse? Certainly the food rewarding this victory speaks with high regard of the city, but at what cost? We are sure to only have around 39% of the insight required to answer. Sometime in the future, let's take an even closer look at this report, Devil Hunters. There's a lot to say, but only some of it can be said today. Until then, you're on indefinite leave, but you'll have a new job very soon. I want to thank you for coming on this journey with me. This is the first time I've undertaken a project of this scale, so if you watched any of it, you have my gratitude. I'm not sure how many times I'd like to do an episode by episode series like this. I've got a bit of Fujimoto in me. I like to write in smaller bouts and move on to the next fleeting brain soup leaking out of my ears. It also allows me more freedom to move around projects doing whatever fits. I hope you'll still be there to see it. Next time, I'll drag you into hell with me.